I remember tweeting in 2022 about how I think it's bad for people to be blocked for no reason, and some people got on my case for it, but I stand by that statement. It's not that I didn't do these conversations, it's that John will talk about important business stuff in the wrong channels. All the stuff that I said was in general, not any business channel. John, it's your own fault for talking business shit out of the business channels. Not helping John's case is that the channels aren't shown. As you can see here, you can see me saying shit and stuff, but not the channel names. As in which channel each conversation is in, or even the timestamps for each conversation stamp. Just the general discussion on what is said. Even then, I was often at work, and Discord is not the best at conversation.
This is what Rebecca means when she said we continually tried to ignore her. Because she continually broke flow to continually interrupt people about conversations that were constantly dead.
I didn't continually break these conversations constantly. Stop lying about me, John!
This was a constant problem that we talked to her about repeatedly.
Repeatedly doesn't count when you never say this once in the entirety of 2021. And no, 2020 was a bad year for all of us. 2020 is such a weird misnomer. Kind of funny how it's a double year, i.e. 2020. Like the shit that I did had an excuse. Remember, John throughout this video is using excuses. Oh, I'm sorry, explanations. I guess I could say that what I did were explanations as well. But this video is long, so we need to keep moving on.
This is one of those examples where I try to be patient with her because it's clear that she does not get social cues. However, at some point, this goes way too far. Discord's reply function only made the problem worse, as it enabled her exact behavior, reviving conversations that were long dead at the expense of productive conversations that were ongoing in the present.
You do know that I have a life outside the internet, right? And this could have been me doing it at my job during breaks. You don't know that, and maybe even I don't know that. John, you've admitted that Discord is bad at conversation. In this video, I do get social cues. I really do. However, text is much harder to tell than voice or real life. A text on screen is hard for me to break down and process. Real life faces and even just voices I can tell. I can also recover from this Kiwi Farms, but I'm getting ahead of myself. Here's a quick tip on how you could tell that I 100% edited a video without John doing anything to it. As of Nicarama and onwards, if any video is in 1080p, that means that I edited it and John did not do anything, while a 720p video was him doing it, or a different editor. The only 1080p video from John that was from him afterwards was the Quandary break trailer from Sarah, but that's it. Sometimes John would make new errors like the Disney part in the Bart vs. Itchy and Scratchy review, where I put in the Disney Mickey thing, while he wanted something Star Wars. Which wasn't in the script, by the way. It never said anything about a Star Wars specific screenshot. As in episode 7, it just said when Walt Disney bought the company. God damn, I wish we could have done behind the scenes videos when I was still on to help explain things. And you can easily fact check that for the record since all of his scripts are public.
On the other side, the editor who helped me the first time around is no longer on my team, so we should not have any hiccups on that end. Hopefully.
But, I doubt that he would agree to do videos on behind the scenes because of, lines like that. Despite the fact that I was going to edit a Season 1 commentary on all his videos for him. I should probably make my own scripts public as well to prevent any future controversies on me. As well as make a fan wiki about me for organization. Bart vs. Itchy and Scratchy is only in 720p for the record. So John at some points calls errors out on me, but we need to talk about the in-depth now.
I'm not going to defend things like not fully exploring shows, factual errors, and shoddy editing work. This cat looks like a Neopet. What cat? There is no cat in the shot. You see, this happens when you don't have enough time to look over said shoddy editing work.
Never mind the editing on some of these.
This cat looks like a Neopet.
What cat?
No, John. This is what happens when you rush the editor!
While all of this was going on, she was losing literally the only trait that I hired her for. Her editing speed. She made people uncomfortable. And never ever ask Rebecca to do anything complicated, like the mountain scene in the Lights Out review. Also, Rebecca has a complete inability to fill in the blanks of her own accord.
I don't want to turn this into a segment ranting about Rebecca. I made a whole video about the Rebecca situation, which I will link in the description. I have been truly blessed that most of the people who have worked for me have had a good deal of competence. Artists, editors, and more. Because if they were all on the level of this, we'd be living in a far worse world now, wouldn't we?
First of all, I can easily fix that clip.
This cat looks like a Neopet.
See? It's not that hard to fix. But try to imagine having another job working at it for 12 hours straight, being very busy with it and very few breaks, only to come home to have to work for 3 hours straight on a video. This was always after midnight for the record. Speaking of fixing, let me fix that mountain sketch.
Sorry, son. I moved our house to the top of a hill because the view is so much better.
So, you finally come.
Yes, I am here to seek your wisdom. I've come across a problem that I just can't understand no matter how much I think about it.
Well, what is it? You have come to access my infinite wisdom.
Please tell me, how does a cartoon episode with no animation have an animation error?
I must meditate on this. Give me a moment.
6.5 hours later.
I've got it! Everyone involved had absolutely no clue what they were doing! Oh, and he's gone.
See, that is a better mountain. Why did I do it when I could have just said no? Money. That was the only reason why. That was the only reason why I ever edited any of John's videos. Considering that COVID started a couple of months right after the marathon ended, let's just say that I made the right decision business-wise. Not moral-wise. Without me doing this, who knows? I might not have a house currently. I am also shy, or at least was. And secondly, isn't it bad to only hire for speed? After Nicarama, I decided to be slow with the videos to put more polish on them. And I do think the videos that I edited for John in the 2020s are better than how I was in the 2010s. Certifiable Super Sitter is the only exception, as that review is my best work from John. So with me making the videos actually better made me lose my job. Okay then. Though, yes, Lights Out I don't like because of what it was. Also, the only thing in Certifiable Super Sitter that I didn't edit was the green screen effect from John. That was Sarah. Honestly, the only thing that John did nicely for me with his response video was not monetizing it. So even though it has over 200,000 views, John didn't make a penny off it. Thank you for that. The only reason why I monetized my response was to help pay off the money for Hope. Oh yeah, that reminds me. After John's video went up on me, I decided to pay Hope over $100 for damages. Glad to see that no one ever brought this up. I hate it when people try to make their opponent look as shitty as possible. Why else did Grace not bring up the $300 refund in the video? In June, Grace gave me $300 to help move in with my boyfriend at the time. We're not together anymore, but we still talk to each other every now and then. When Grace got mad at me a couple of days later because of me wanting to make my original enter response, she blocked me and I felt guilty with that money. So I gave it to Ava, who then gave it to Grace.
Also lied, and she said that she left me because I couldn't take criticism.
I did not lie ever, Grace. Because Grace also blocked me on PayPal apparently, I then would block Ava later because I didn't want to really associate with anyone from Enter's team. To the point that in all of 2022, I didn't talk to Enter's team once, not a single person. The last time I ever talked to anybody from Enter's team was, I believe, Lulu at the end of November 2021. No, I don't know why I waited that long. I get it, the $100 thing was after the response, but that's besides the point. For the record, Grace wouldn't contact me again until a couple of weeks after Enter's response video went up, when it had over 100,000 views, and the internet hated me with me losing subs, mass dislikes, troll comments, half my Discord server leaving, and me losing all my Patreon supporters. Like seriously, I can claim that I was the final YouTuber to ever be mass disliked. Because a week after my response to Mr. Enter, YouTube decided to disable dislikes. Of course, yeah, you can still use an extension to bring them back, but you get what I mean. I blocked Grace when she tried to contact me. She wanted me to
She shortchanged the artist who did my current avatar set. For what was supposed to be a $450 work, her avatar set, she paid $250.
But Ava agreed to the payment. If she didn't, she should have told me multiple times, but she didn't. If she didn't agree to the payment, she shouldn't have done the poses. That's on her, not me. That's the thing. Despite Ava not getting paid, fully, your words, not mine, she was fine with the lower price. Wait, by definition of law, she agreed to it. Ava's not the only person that was like this to me. Phoenix Star was like this as well. Hey Phoenix, if you wanted to be paid more, we could have talked it out. And you stayed on my server for over a year after you were done editing for me. And you only left because of John's videos of lies on me, more or less. Phoenix Star was a former editor of mine for Cartoon Network 64. Other editors would get wrong clips as well. Here's an example from Crimson Mayhem from the 2010's Worst List.
In one episode, Diana, Wonder Woman, fails at doing everything because she's in love with a boy. This episode outright and literally states that Wonder Woman is literally a symbol of female empowerment. And this is the episode they have her completely inept over a boy with. This is some kind of chalk zone, only bad ideas get erased shit. And then 4 of our superheroes think that the best solution to this is to try and outright kill Diana's crush, because that's what a good role model will do.
The scenes are incorrect. Wrong episodes as well. This is what should have been played.
In one episode, Diana, Wonder Woman, fails at doing everything because she's in love with a boy. This episode outright and literally states that Wonder Woman is literally a symbol of female empowerment. And this is the episode they have her completely inept over a boy with. This is some kind of chalk zone, only bad ideas get erased shit. And then 4 of our superheroes think that the best solution to this is to try and outright kill Diana's crush, because that's what a good role model will do.
That clip was what was meant to be played. I blocked Grace when she tried to contact me. She wanted me to talk to Enter Steam. Her exact words were, "You will talk on our terms." At that point, I blocked her, for how rude she was. I stand by that. Do I get why she was rude? Yes, I truly do, but I don't care. If you're rude to me, I will be rude back to you. End of discussion.
Her favorite word of all time, though, is abuser.
Actually, my favorite words are animation, growth, cartoons, cat, giantesses, family, games, trains, comedy, snow, belly, and blue. When you get to know me better, you can assure that I'm a fun person to be around. Or you can just listen to random weirdos on the internet making accusations on me. Enter's team apparently didn't want me to do a response video and just stay silent. When a lot of confusion and lies are surrounding me, staying silent was not an option. Which is why I'm making this video for the record. I'm glad that I did block Grace though. I was honestly afraid that I would have hurt her more than I already did. And that would have made things worse. I did it to protect myself and Grace. And before you say anything that whatever John said was just a slip of the tongue or him just making a mistake, this is meant to be evidence. In a courtroom, you can't present evidence and then say, "Oops, my mistake." Not saying that this is a courtroom. I'm not suing John or wanting to take him to a courtroom or anything like that, even though he thought I would, and I don't want him to take me to one as well.
I have no patience for liars and con men.
If that's the case, then do you have the patience for yourself? The comment part is a bit hard to justify. If you were ripped off with the GA campaign, you can just DM John somehow for a refund and he'll give it to you. No, I'm not gonna say that John is a con man.
But who knows? Maybe Rebecca got a draft letter and I didn't. Maybe Rebecca will go to jail if she doesn't keep a consistent YouTube schedule.
Funny that you say that, since shortly after this video, my stepdad would lose his job. And we actually would be in financial trouble for all of 2022. He got a new job, luckily now, so in some way, John was kind of right.
She calls anyone that she does not like an abuser.
See, in life, we have this saying called, "Don't put words into my mouth." No one likes that, John, so don't put words into my mouth. Talk to me at present to see what kind of person that I am. We've given you too many chances, Sarah says. What chances? What are you even talking about here? Do you realize that because you didn't tell me anything, I was left confused? And more problematic is that no teammate correctly told me what I did wrong. Glad I didn't talk to any of them once in all 2022.
Rebecca was my friend, but now I come to realize she has almost no control of her emotions, and she was a bad boss to me. If you're watching this, Rebecca, I'm not sorry for how I ended things. I warned you. I asked you to stop, and this is what happened. Don't contact me again.
Rebecca would probably tell you that she has no choice but to shortchange and underpay the people who work for her, because she doesn't have a ton of money to work with. Now, I'm not the smartest person in the world, obviously. I hired Rebecca after all. But one idea in this idiot's head is if you can't pay people to do your work, you might have to do your work yourself. Then Rebecca would probably say something along the lines of needing a staff to keep a consistent YouTube schedule because she has a real-world job. You know, despite apparently having the time to edit for me.
No, what I will tell you is that every single person that has edited for me has agreed to the price. If they aren't happy about the price and didn't tell me, that's on them, not me. Good to know that John made a statement to not go after me to his following, yet they still do this shit. So they've been harassing me for over a year. Don't do this. I am not egotistic. Also, I only told Adam. It was Adam that made it public, not me. And no, I didn't tell Adam to say it publicly either. I only told him to make sure that John's Twitter account wouldn't be taken down with people getting the idea that it might be an impersonator. So John, I was actually defending you the whole time. And what do I get out of this? Me getting fired. And I thought that it was okay to tell Adam since he was associated with John at one point. And Adam and I were friends at the time. We still are friends for the record.
She rarely hid the black bars at the side of the screen.
Now, John claims to be a professional.
I have a feeling that when everything comes tumbling down, you will have nothing else.
And from what I gather, there are big channels out there that do have black bars on their sides in the present. Unless John is making a joke here, but I doubt that. Off the top of my head, Jordan Fringe does this, and so does Channel Awesome. Doug Walker does not claim to be a professional, by the way. Also, John using LGBT slurs is unprofessional. Even if it's meant to degrade J.K. Rowling, the Q word is a slur. This is not my opinion, it's a fact. The Q word is a slur. If you use it, I will block you. End of discussion. Currently in the present, I do try to remove the black bars. I think my Robot Jones Cartoon Network 64 episode was the last time that I did it myself, which was immediately after my enter video. As I show black bars there, for all of 2022, I kept them out. Here's what I do. 16:9 clips when I'm talking, they have a zoom in. But when I'm playing the footage,
only a coward would hide away in this place. I reject this sick fantasy, and I reject you!
I allow a full side. Meanwhile, 4:3 clips, I keep them the same size each. No alterations. They each have their own background. This is a side note, but John has done 4:3 videos during my time of editing. The Nikorama trailer is in a weird 4:3 scale, as well as the Ren and Stimpy and Doug episodes. That usually is because wherever the first clip that you put into a video, that is what the ratio comes for the whole video. Yes, editing is that strict, though there are functions in the program to turn that off. More than likely, I don't think John either doesn't know how to turn that off, or just allows it that way. By the way, John never once told me to remove the black bars.
Even the people that Rebecca didn't directly attack had issues with her. She had this constant, almost obsession with pedophiles.
And let's get right into the news. 30-year-old Wreck-It Ralph was spotted the other day being super clingy and obsessive towards a child.
I should get this out of the way now because I don't care what you say.
You can't just portray domestic abuse like that and make light of it.
Wow, you have serious anger issues. You know they have books for that.
I know. Let's continue, shall we?
For you to really get the idea of what kind of problem this was, here's how what she was doing would play out in reality. Two people have a conversation at a party. They stop talking, and then Rebecca decides to continue it like 4 hours later, after the party is over. To be fair, she would sometimes insert herself in conversations at the time, ignoring what people were talking about at the time to talk about whatever was on her mind.
John, you and I have never been in the same room together. Hell, we never have been in the same state together. Here's this quote from me. If you were me, then you would understand me. But if you aren't me, then you won't fully understand me. We could have talked things out, but John and I never once had our own VC conversation of just the two of us. Trolls were like this. Or are like this, actually. Even when I was in group VCs, John would barely talk. Do you think that I would have friends in the present, John, both online and in person, if I acted like how you described me? The answer is simple. You are wrong about me, John. You have no right to judge who I am as a person if you don't personally know me. And no, John or any of his teammates did not personally know me. But to really help my claim on why I'm actually good at conversation and helping people, we're going to listen to my first speech from my friend Chelsea.